Hello and welcome. Through the past, technology has become a main item in people's lives. Because of technology becoming such a vital item, it has changed the way we live. Over the years, people think now with technology as iPhones, iPads, anything basically with a touchscreen. And I've forgotten my words. Hello and welcome. For the past few decades, technology has become a highly developed item within the public's lives. Because of technology becoming such a main item within their lives, the devices have changed these people. When you think about technology, you may think about iPads, iPhones, anything just to do with any technological devices. But with today's changes, people need to realise that technology wasn't quite as advanced as it was today in the older days.
All I worry about now.
Hello and welcome. For the past few decades, technology has become a highly developed item within the public's lives. Because of technology being such a main item, it has changed the way people live. When you think about technology, you may think about iPads, iPhones, anything basically that has a touch screen. And there are so many different devices. But with today's changes with it, people need to remember that technology wasn't quite as advanced as it was today as it was in the earlier times. Hello and welcome. For the past few decades, technology has become an advanced and developed item of people's lives. But because it's changed so many lives, it's become a main one. When you hear about technology, you may think about iPads, iPhones, anything to do with technological devices. But with today's changes within it, people need to remember that technology in today's society wasn't quite as advanced as it was back in the earlier days.
No. James.
Hello and welcome. For the past few decades, technology has become a developed item within people's lives. Because it's become such a main one, it has changed the way people live. Over the years, when you hear about technology, you assume you hear about iPads, iPhones, anything now with technological devices including a touchscreen. But what people need to remember with today's changes is that technology in today's society wasn't quite as advanced as it was back in earlier times.
No.
Now that we've looked further into the research of technology and focused entirely on what people think about it, the question is, what do you think about it? Do you think technology has changed it for the good or for the bad? And what exactly does the future hold for technology? Following what some of the people and the councillor have said, we find that some people find technology a bit obsessive. The reason why we think that they find it obsessive is because there's so many different ways for them to look into technology. Because now there's many different items within it. Because most were supposed to be designed to text and communicate with people from far away. But now they can be used for social media, many apps and games. Some people say that it's lost its main item, for its main job for this. Do that again, please.
You know the guy.
Following on what the councillor and some people have said, they find that some people can be quite obsessive over technology. For example, some can be obsessive over mobile phones. Because at the first point the mobile phone came out, it was designed for people to communicate with others far away. Then the next iPhone came out. Again, I said iPhone.
No. 5, 4, 3.
Following on what the councillor and some people have said, is that they find some people can be quite obsessive over technology. For example, the mobile phone. When the first mobile phone was created, it was designed for people to communicate with others that were far away in distant places where they couldn't reach them. Then suddenly, the next phone came. This was designed for people to also communicate by calling them, but then suddenly by texting them. Now this was a brand new technological equipment. Just trying to just keep going. No, just keep going. This was a brand new item within the phone. No one had ever seen this before. But now, when you look back at it, people find it a bit dull, as you couldn't do anything apart from just text and communicate. Now, in today's society, you can use social media such as Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. You can now FaceTime, meaning you can communicate to people by seeing their faces. You can do anything now with the iPhones. You can take many pictures looking at each other, and now the latest new thing, you can now take live photos, which will now be memorable for all time. So people need to remember that technology today has become so advanced and has evolved into something brand new.